Welcome back to Boxing Resume. This time around, I'm going to take a more serious approach and talk about the history of death in the sport of boxing. Now, it is reported that 1,600 to 2,000 people have died in the ring or died because of injuries in the boxing ring, which is a scary thought, and boxing is the deadliest sport. Now, there are some sports that are dangerous, but there is no sport that averages 10 to 13 deaths per year like boxing does. That's basically over one death per month worldwide in this sport that, I love, but at the same time, there is a part of me that feels guilty for supporting this sport because of how dangerous it truly is. And not to mention the long-term effects of it, the people that's affected, the family members. And, I've seen so many things happen in the ring. Even though when I was a kid, I think I was about 7 years old the first time somebody died in the ring. And it was during a heavyweight. It wasn't the heavyweight fight. It was in the fights before the main event. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, Riddick Bowe was fighting that night. And there was a fighter named Rafael Relas who killed his opponent. And a lot of times I noticed that it's not even the big punches like Mike Tyson. It's not Tito Trinidad. A lot of times it's fighters who just land a lot of punches. The type of fighters that put a beating on their opponents. And those accumulation of punches actually leads to people dying. Not just men, women as well have been introduced to the pearly gates. And it's a serious thing, so I didn't want to be funny. I usually like to do comedy, but when it comes to this situation, I want to spread awareness so people will have definitely more respect for these fighters. That's one of the reasons why it hurts my soul to hear some of these commentators disrespect fighters and call them cab drivers, or even say, this guy didn't fight anybody. To fight and beat, somebody who's training full time to be a professional boxer, these guys are not nobodies. You should treat these guys accordingly. They're warriors. They deserve to be respected. And I also want to shed light on the history of these things, because if I don't, nobody will. Nobody else seems to be talking about this. And every time a fighter dies, we just forget them. Hopefully this video is really about honoring the guys who lost their life in the ring. All those that, boys and girls that died. And here are some of the more popular names. Some in recent history, some will go down, back in the 1900s, early 1900s. But people have been dying in the sport of boxing since the 1800s. So it gives you an understanding of how old this sport is. It's like they say, you don't play boxing. And this is just a smidget. I just showed you a few faces that I recognize. Truth is that 2,000 deaths is crazy. 1,600 to 2,000 people died in boxing in the history of the sport. Yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this. Have you ever lost anybody? Like, I know I saw somebody die in an amateur boxing event when I used to box. I can't remember the guy's name, but I had my fight. I came back after the fight to watch fights, and there was medical attention. This guy got taken out. He was a kid. He was probably like 18 years old. He got taken out of the ring, and then later on that night, it was announced in the same boxing event that he lost his life in the hospital. And I didn't even get to see what punch hit him, but that doesn't even matter. The guy lost his life. It was like heartbreaking to me. It's one of the reasons why boxing is one of the scariest things to do. And all these casual fans that be talking down on fighters, this guy's a bum. No, these guys are warriors, and you should definitely put some respect on their name. I don't care if you 0-200 and you got knocked out 90 times. The dude is a warrior. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Take care.